I'm always a little hesitant to start sharing things from the Bible because I haven't read that whole book. I tried many years ago and it didn't make any sense to me. And I'm not a Christian. I don't go to church. I mean, the outer church, that's never been part of my life. Um, but yet, because I have been listening and studying the teachings from Joel Goldsmith for so many years, and he uses so many terms from the Bible that they have become alive in me. So I can't say much about Christianity or the Bible. I just use the quotes that I've heard so many times that they really have come alive in me for the most part. And then I share from there. So I want to it's kind of a little disclaimer, that I'm just me. And I have surrendered to the divine as much as I'm able to. And then I just share from that place. So that was my disclaimer. So the title today, Choose Ye This Day Whom You Will Serve. I don't know where in the Bible that's from, but that came to me today, like boom. And that's why I just speak what comes to me, what suddenly is in my consciousness, something I don't think about normally. And when it drops in, I'm going, okay, we can do that. So, who are we choosing? It says choose, do you choose God or do you choose mammon? Mammon. And mammon means wealth. So do you choose God or do you choose wealth? As if they're separate, right? There's another one of those duality things. There's either God or there's wealth. No, God is wealth. There is no separation. But when we choose wealth, feeling completely separate, as if we are this separate scent of self who needs to go out and make a living and survive and whatever we need to do, then we are doing ourselves a disfavor because we are choosing a branch that is not attached to the tree anymore. Or we are following a trickle of water from a lake that's drying up. So it's temporary. There is still some sap in the branch or some water in the lake, but it dries up. And that's where we go to hope to find our fulfillment. And it is the same in the world the way it is right now. We are choosing, let's go back to choose ye this day. We are choosing a political scene out there, thinking that the answer to all the problems in the world, maybe not all, but the ones that we consider important, that one of two people will be able to solve that. And it's not going to happen because, as far as I can feel, sense, and you may disagree, that's totally fine. I don't see any of them going here and speaking from oneness, speaking from love, speaking from stillness. They're out here, rah, 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 and they're finger pointing and calling each other's names. And I have no idea why people are interested in that, as if that would be the solution. The one who can shout the loudest, who can act, who's the best actor, who can make the biggest promises that are never being fulfilled. The whole political scene is such a pull of people's attention away from what is right here now. So we do need to choose. And I feel a little more urgent about it because I sense that the new energies are coming in really strongly, and many of us can feel them. And we can also feel that there is a real split happening, has been for a long time, And that split or that divide is getting wider and wider, where it's almost like one set of people is on this one train that's going this direction, and the other ones are going that direction. And they cannot find any kind of unity or commonality between the two. And that's why they're going in two different directions. Now, each of them feels very righteous that they're right. It's like, I'm right, you're wrong. Or from there, you're wrong, I'm right. That is about as dualistic, as matrixy as it gets. If you can't see that, or if you don't want to see that, then you are definitely on, let's say, this train here that's going to go this direction, into a reality where that right wrong continues. War, fighting, blaming, killing, being right, all that stuff. Let's say that is this train. So if your attention is on one of these candidates, believing that they are going to make a difference, all they're doing is they're going to put you on this train and you're going to that way. Oh, going to be on this train and you're going to go that direction. No unity, no oneness, no love, no compassion, just finger pointing. It's like each train goes like, yeah, you're wrong and we're going the right direction. And no, you're wrong and we're going the right direction. That is the matrix. And that is what we have to choose. Do you want to be right or wrong or right or left? What do you want to be? Where do you want to put your energy? Do you think that this one candidate is right and they're going to make a huge difference? Or the other one, they are in the matrix. It's so important to really see they're in the matrix. They're not connected to oneness. They're living in a reality that's not real. It's a virtual reality. I think the word dream is better to use because most of us can relate to a dream that we wake up out of, right? If we're trying to change the dream because we want it to be better, then we're still in a dream and it may be a little better. If you want that, that's fine. That train is available too. There's all these parallel timelines that are happening, and there's so many of them are actually beginning to rise up at a higher expansion level that many people are choosing now, because that's moving from here into an expanded state where we are more receptive to the higher energies that do not live in the duality that we are experiencing now. We are moving back to what has always been here, but we have not been able to see it because we have been living in a dream state. So it really is important that we make a conscious choice. You choose you this day. If you want to, choose one of the trains, you can choose them. Is there one that you enjoy better? But don't think it's going to change the reality of what we are and where we are moving towards. The duality is ending in our experience. Not everybody's. There's many people who still want the duality. So jump on one of the trains and enjoy the ride. The ride, it's still a dream, but it can still be enjoyable if you want that. There's nothing wrong with any of that. There are many of us who don't want to do that dream anymore because it's a nightmare. But so for those of us who really, really feel that, and there is no judgment in any of it, it's not like we're doing the right things and you're doing the wrong things, because then I would be back in duality, right? But if you just follow what's true for you, it's like, no, I really want to go on that train over there to the left or to the right. Go and have fun, bring your popcorn, bring a credit card, have fun. If you don't want to go into this duality split any deeper, then come back and let yourself be guided by what is coming through. You will feel it in your heart. It is a longing for something that is much more peaceful, joyful, loving, connected. Many, many, many of us are longing for that. It's like, I just want to go home. I just want to go home, right? So many have that feeling. And we put our hands here because this is where home is. But we need to place ourselves right at the portal of home so we can be taken along that ride of when the flow really starts moving because we are opening up to it. And how do we deal with the world in the meantime? That's going to be a very individual thing. I can speak from my own. I do look for any signs of anybody really coming from here. And I feel it because it is a frequency that we can feel. So if I hear or feel somebody talking from that place, then I'm interested because then I know that they're connected to the flow and it's bringing in a whole new frequency to create a new way of being and living, new earth. If I don't sense that, I have zero interest. It's not even like making them wrong. It's like there's nothing here that resonates. So I'm not going to be on any of those trains. I'm going to be on a different one that is guided from a much higher frequency. And how do I deal with it in the world? You know, I grow my own food. I do my very, very best to keep my heart open to everyone, including myself. When I see parts of me that are not loving or that have been ignorant or something like that, I immediately go there and bring it into my heart or bring love to it in a way so that that flow of the higher frequencies can start washing that away. I'm not trying to, work hard at it and make it change. No, I just like, oh yeah, no, I'm done with that. I'm also choosing here. I'm not choosing that anymore. Very powerful. But it comes from a place of clarity of what I want. And there's not much wiggle room in there because the desire or the longing for a new frequency, a higher way of living is very, very strong. And why is it strong? And it might be the same for you. It's because that's what I want. That's why I've been putting my attention for a long, long time. So that every time I go there, it feels like the portal opens up more, right? All the places where I was holding back, that's just opening up more and more. And I mean, it's a process. It's wonderful to really feel like, oh, that doesn't trigger me anymore, or I can just stay in love with that person, even though whatever. I don't need to judge anybody what's going on in the world. I can just stay here and bring my light to it, just silently, presently. So in that, it feels like we can walk around as these little light beings, just oozing oozing the light, and let the light do the work. So that is what I choose based on who do you choose? Who do you choose? Who do you choose this day? God or mammon? I choose here. That means I don't engage in any of the craze out there. That's all duality. I just walk around there, living from here, doing my best. I don't engage with a lot of things or people or conversations. I just stay quiet. Sometimes I say something maybe as a question because I'm curious. And then if I see that there's, an attachment to the matrix, I just like, okay, great. Thank you for sharing. I do not need to engage. So it is choosing the matrix of duality or the oneness of the divinity that we already are. What do you choose?